Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Today is Tuesday, July 29th, 2025, and welcome to the kickoff meeting of the Sophia Travis Grant Committee. I am Jennifer Crossley, Monroe County Council for District 4, and I want to give an opportunity for our other committee members to just give a brief introduction of themselves, and I know we have Ms. Julie Robertson, who is online as well. So I'm going to start off here with one of our committee members, and then we'll just kind of go around and then we'll head to teams.
Hi, I'm Jenny Stevens. I'm a local community member, active in a lot of school, corporation, and eager to hear any questions you have. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Liz Feidel, the newest elected county council member serving on this committee as well, and a few others, and I look forward to the work that we're going to do for this.
Good afternoon. My name is Trent Deckard. In addition to Liz, I'm another at-large member of the Monroe County Council, and I'm very excited to be back on this committee and doing the good work, so thank you.
And then Julie, if you're muted, so you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. My name is Julie Robertson. I am the new citizen appointee to this committee, and I'm very excited to get started.
Thank you all. Obviously, you all are here because you are already doing some really great work in our community, whether it is helping the youth at WFHB or whether that is feeding community members. You all are doing some great work and should be applauded for your efforts. And now you are here to here for a kickoff of how county dollars can help you continue the help and the work that you do. Or if this is your first time here, we welcome you as well, and hopefully you can hear something that will entice you to apply for the Sophia Travis Grant Funds. So without further ado, we will go ahead and get started. And I know Ms. Kim Schell, who is our council administrator, will basically kind of go through the presentation, but I would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge somebody who has, if you've done Sophia Travis Grant Committee for a while, you already know that the late and great Councilor Cheryl Munson would be in one of our seats right now, and this would be the most exciting time of the year for her. And so it is an honor and a privilege to now chair this committee. And since I've been on council for the past 4 years now, I've been able to see the great work that the committee has been able to do. And it is an honor and a privilege again to be the chair for her, for this committee that she loved dearly. So I would be remiss if I didn't ask for a moment of silence for our dear friend. All right, thank you. All right, now I will go and look over to Ms. Kim Schell, our council administrator, who has been working really hard along the scenes, and we have a newest council administrator assistant, Lehua, and they will be able to tag team this presentation. And correct me if I'm wrong, any questions that we have, we can wait until after the presentation. Okay, so if you have any questions, write those down, and then after that, and after this is over, you'll be able to ask the questions either to us or our staff here. So Ms. Schell, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Kim Schell. I am the council administrator. I've been with the county council since 2015. So this is our latest and greatest kickoff. This is year number 2. We had a kickoff last year and it seemed really effective. It got the word out. This is just to kind of go through things, get you ready to go and ready for the new year. So the first thing on our list is we want to encourage everyone to follow us on Facebook and the address is up on the screen. It's also it's on your handout. And those online, if you want, you can go to the event calendar and get the packet. You can, and there's a copy of the handout online. But for tonight, we want you to follow us on Facebook. We also want you to also follow our website page. The website page is very important because that is where you're going to get the application. You are going to get the guidelines, which you have in your hand, or if you're here, the guidelines have active links so that you can go to different places for the information that you're going to need for this application. So, and then just so everyone knows, we are no longer able to do mass emailing out to the participants or applicants. And that is due in part because of our new software. It flags if we send too many out with the same title. So that's why we're encouraging you, go to Facebook, to our Facebook page, and go to our website. And the website is where you will get the application and all the information that you need. So we'll go to the next. So the first thing we're going to kind of go through, if you're familiar with this process, is our application. The number one thing that you need to know is that in order to apply, you must be a 501c3 member. And that is so it identifies you as a not-for-profit. And that is a requirement. If you do not have one, you cannot apply. If you want to get one, you can easily do that by going to our handout, which Lehu is going to demonstrate right here. On the website, this will be active. You can click, there's a link called 501c3 application. It will take you to the IRS. You can fill that application out. It usually takes about a week to get your number, and then you're good to go. So that's why we want you to go to the website. You can get the live links. The next thing that you have to have on file with us with the application is your W-9 form. The current W-9, it can also be, you can acquire it by going to the live link, and that will help you. Please note that we need to have the name and the address of the agency that's going to be applying. The address needs to be the address you want your check mailed to. If you cannot come and pick it up in person, we need to know, or the executed contract when it's done. So we need the email address that you want things mailed to. Okay, so that's an easy thing. So the next thing on is the application itself. We're going to quickly go through the application. Let's see, you might want to make that just a wee bit bigger. Okay, so we've covered, you need the 501c. Next, there is a question that says, if you received Sophia Travis grant money for 2023, did you submit your required report by March 31st, 2025? And I will say we do have some agencies that have not completed this task. So this is a warning. If you have not completed your report, it could put your application in jeopardy. You may not be eligible. The committee will be looking at this because then you are in breach of your contract. Your contract states that you will submit timely reports, and the time was March 31st of 2025. So then the next thing that we need from you on this application is contact information. The contact information, we need a primary and a secondary. We have to have at least 2 people that know this project that can answer questions. Last year, we ran into a situation where someone was out of the country. The only phone number they put was theirs on all 3 spaces that you can see there. And so we could not get a hold of them in a timely manner. So we have to have that. If you do not supply a secondary contact number, your application will be returned to you, and requesting that. The next on there is project information. What we want to know is, what project are you wanting funded? And if it's a project that requires, it's a huge amount, put what that it's going to take. So if you're asking for the Sophia Travis grant amount of $5,000, that's where you're going to put grant request amount. But the total project may be $10,000. So we want that. They also want to know the total number of people that are impacted by this project that you're working on. And then they also want to know how many of those people in this are Monroe County residents. The other fund sources, this is where you have applied for this project with other fund sources. Some people apply with the city grant, which is called
Jack Hopkins.
Jack Hopkins. So that's one grant that I know some agencies do apply for as well. But then there's also maybe local dollars that you've received from maybe a company of some sort. Please list any of those donations or funding that you have received on this application. To the side, it will say confirmed. It's a drop-down menu, confirmed or pending. If you can confirm that, yes, we have received that grant amount, then confirm it. If it's pending, means you have applied for it, but you haven't heard back, let us know. The next item on the application is an itemized grant budget. So what they want to know is, list every project within that. You know, you want tables, you want chairs, you want diapers, you want meals, you know, food, whatever it is. List that out and price it out. We may not be able to, and I say we loosely, the committee may not be able to give you the entire dollar amount, but they might be able to help fund a portion of that project for you. So make sure you price that all out for them. Additional information. So this is just a reminder that we need, the W-9. We also need from you, as an agency filing the application, a year-end report. The year-end report needs to tell us your fund, it needs to tell us your expenditures, and it needs to tell us your receipts that you have gotten this past year. Or if you are in a fiscal year, put the fiscal year. But we need a year-end report from you with regards to your agency. We also will, during presentations, and we'll get into that a little bit later, during the presentation, we ask that you do a cover slide. The cover slide then gives a name of the agency that's presenting, a little bit of information about yourself, contact information. We'll get into that a little bit later. So, and then the last thing that we need from you is a written narrative of your project. No more than 1,000 words. You can enter it right here. This is fillable. And you can just start typing away and just say, this is, what your project is and why you need the funding for it. Okay? That is the application in a nutshell. So, okay, so I think we're ready for the next screen. That's why it's good if you got questions. I do tend to talk really fast when I get nervous, so sometimes I just whip through things. So, okay. So the first thing, this is just the criteria in order for you to be able to apply. Again, if you are a returning applicant, make sure you get your reports in. Okay. So we're trying to stress that. Greatly, that you need to get your reports in if you want to be able to apply and receive a grant. The next on the list is projects must primarily serve Monroe County. The reason we ask this is Monroe County dollars from the public that we have received. through the tax income, and so we want it to serve the Monroe County. So we understand that some of the agencies do serve other counties and this kind of thing, but what we want is this project going to be able to serve the Monroe County residents? Next, then, the extent to which the dollar amount sought will accomplish the stated goals of the proposal. So we want to make sure that if you have, let's just say, a $40,000 project, you're asking $5,000 from us, but we need to see, and that's why we asked, where are you getting the other money for these projects? Are you going to be able to, if we give you this money, are you going to be able to complete this project for this year? So then the next slide is the extent which the funds sought leverage the additional funds. This is not a sustainable grant for the agencies. This is just to help you out. Do not rely on this. You know, at any point in time, you know, this grant may not be available, and here you are, you're hoping that, or you think you're going to get money, you know, you might not. So please do not think that this is going to be your sustainability to keep this project going moving forward. And then this last item on this list is collaboration. Last year, we had some groups work together because they had needs in the community for the same thing. There was food insecurity, or you know, that kind of thing. So a couple of them got together, they worked, and they were able to collaborate on a larger project that helped. So we encourage you to reach out to other agencies in order to do that. The next slide. Our areas of support that the grant will support is the health, food, nutrition, security, and shelter, transportation assistance, climate change, emergency shortages, first responders, veterans assistance, excellence in government, youth enrichment opportunities. So if you have a program that can be listed under any one of those headers, you can apply for a grant. Next slide. And these are the updates that you will see for 2025. Again, emails are no longer going to be the way we're going to communicate with this group of applicants. It will all be done through Facebook and or the website. Unless there is an issue, we're going to try and phone you with regards to your application. And if we can't reach you by phone, we'll reach out by email. But don't depend on emails for updates and this kind of thing. Reach out to the Facebook and or the website. Schedule changes. So beginning tomorrow, and this is all going to depend on TSD, so you may have to check back. But tomorrow, the application will be open for you to download and fill out, along with the handout guidelines that you've seen. There's also a calendar of events. So there's links for all of that information that will keep you up to date on what this process will be. And then lastly, we have a new update as to how a applicant that has received the, has been awarded the grant. In past years, we've had to chase people down to get their contract signed. And it delays because we want to present them as a whole to the county commissioners. So this year, what we're going to do is we're asking that if you receive a grant, that you attend the commissioner meeting on November the 13th. And I'm going to say that date might change depending on the commissioner's schedule, but as of right now, November the 13th, you attend that meeting. If the commissioners approve your contracts for the recipient award, you can sign that contract that day and receive your check that same day. And then that way, everybody can walk out of there with their money and start using it, you know, that date. If you can't meet that meeting and be there, then you will have to come in and sign your contract before you can receive your check. Okay. So here's the important dates. Again, we've kind of alluded to them a little bit. Again, the July 30th, which is tomorrow, the application will open on the website. September 15th will be the deadline to submit before noon. If we receive an application after noon, you will not be eligible to receive the award. On October the 7th, applicants will be asked, this is not a requirement, asked to do a presentation of the project you are applying for. This is a 3-minute presentation. You can go back and view those on CATS, how they've been done in the past, if you've never done one before. And that is October the 7th. That's on a Tuesday at 5 o'clock. It will happen here in this room, in the Nat U Hill room. Your presentation does not weigh in on if you receive the award or not. There are some people that are not good presenters. It does not count against you, so don't worry about that. This is just to get your project out there, get your agency out there, and what you are doing for the community. On October the 28th, the County Council will be in session, and the Sophia Travis Grant Committee members here will present their recommendation as to what agencies will get an award. You are welcome to attend that. You can do it either in person or you can do it online. It is not required for you to attend this presentation of the recommendation. And then again, on November 13th, we ask that if you want your check and you want it sooner than mail or anything like that, you'll have to come in on November the 13th. And again, when recipients are awarded, we will send information out with more detail on that. Okay, sorry. Collaborative application. So we're going to just dive into this real quick. Like I said, we had, I think, 2, maybe 3 last year. I can't remember what we did. But this is where 2 or more agencies are going to get together and work on a single project. What we have to know is whoever in this collaborative application, somebody has to be designated as the fiscal recipient or the fiscal body. And that person has to be a 501c3 member. You also, that person or agency will also have to submit a W-9 and along with their year-end reports, just on the application. But whoever this group designates as their fiscal body. Also, it is required that if you are doing a collaborative application with 2 or more, that you must have a memorandum of understanding, which is an MOU, which details the allocation of duties between the agencies. So we have to have that. It's got to be, signed, voted on, that kind of thing. Between the parties, that has to be accompanying your submission collaborative. If it is not included with the application, your application will not be considered. So the MOU must be included. And then we just, the committee would like for the, encourage as many possible collaborative projects as possible, because that means together you'll get more money maybe on a single project that you're already working toward. So. At the public presentation, more information will go out, but briefly, this is again, applicants will be given a period of 3 minutes regarding your application that you have submitted to tell about what the project is, talk about your agency and how it helps with Monroe County. You will also be giving a cover slide, and like who's going to display that for us? This is so that while you're speaking on your project, it's going to give your organization's name, maybe just a little bit of a mission statement, you know, your address, your phone numbers, contacts, you know, that kind of thing. So we're going to try and have one available so that you can download it, or if you want, create your own kind of thing. So, and we'll work with you on what we can get to you, that kind of thing. Next then is the grant spending reports. When you do a grant spending report, once you have, let's say you receive the money this year, and you've got it done, you've spent it, go ahead and do your report and submit it. And so what we need is just a brief summary of, okay, this was our project, this is what we did, and this is how we spent the money. And then we also have to have the invoices, copies of invoices and receipts to go with that. But then as a reminder, if you're receiving money for 2025, the last date that you can turn in your report will then be March 31st of 2027. So you will have from whenever the check is issued, which will be in November, through all of 2026 to get that money spent. And then tips. As a reminder, you can go and watch Cats TV and type in go to Cats TV. There in the top, there's a little search bar. You just type in Sophia Travis, and then it will populate with like past meetings. And you can go and watch, you know, the past presentations. That will give you an idea, if you've never done this before, on how to do a presentation. That's really helpful. There's also information on the website of like, we have been tracking Sophia Travis grants since 2008, is that what I've got on there? Yep. 2008, and you can see how, you know, some agencies have only applied once, never came back, some come back every year. It just kind of gives you a brief history of how each year the money is being spent. And then lastly, contact us. So here's our information. You can call us. There's the email address that you need to submit your applications. And I do believe that's all in the handout as well. And again, we're stressing, please, please, please follow us on Facebook, follow and like, and then bookmark us on the website. So that way you've got that information. So that's that in a nutshell. So if anybody has a question here in the Nat U Hill room, we ask that you just come on up to the podium. Or if you're online, you can raise your hand.
I have a couple questions. In regard to the presentation order, will we be listing that on the website so people know their presentation order?
Yes, everything we are going to do will be posted on the website as well as in Facebook.
And the email there to use is the top one, counciloffice@county.monroe.indiana.us.
That's
where they submit their materials.
Yes.
I'd like to make a statement about the community, what do I want to say? When they apply together.
The collaboration.
The collaboration, thank you. Long day at work. Last year, the majority of applications we received were single applications. The collaborative applications were designed to either offer something that was larger than one organization could do on its own, or to leverage one organization's expertise with something that somebody wanted to do in an organization. So I don't want you to feel like you're disadvantaged if you're just sending in a single application. I don't want you to run out there and say, I've got to collaborate to get more money. That each evaluation or each submission will be evaluated on its merits and its feasibility. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
I just want a follow-up a clarification based on Ms. Stevens' question, because on your form it says that you will email the grant presentation order, but is that not correct? That you will only send it, it'll be posted on Facebook or posted on the website? Is that correct?
Yeah, I missed that. We were trying to update this, and so yes, that was missed. So yes, the presentation order will be posted on the website and in Facebook.
And then you submit your completed application, you can submit that on the website?
That you can email directly to us at that email up there. We just can't send out mass emails. They get flagged as spam. But you can send in emails to us with your application and all the information that we require.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. It looks like we have a hand raised via Teams.
Hi, are you ready for a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions regarding the collaborative grants. I realize that one must be a fiscal agent, and for any applicant to apply, does that mean that both collaborating agencies must be 501c3 organizations?
Nope. Good question. And no, only one, because somebody has to accept that fiscal responsibility. And so only one has to have that 501c3 status.
It has to be the fiscal person.
That's right.
The fiscal agency has to be, the one designated as the fiscal agency has to be the 501c. The others do not.
Thank you for clarifying that. And if, for my second question, you were to present a collaborative grant application, could you also then apply separately as your own organization as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, Kim, I had a thank you, by the way, for that tremendous presentation and information. I had a kind of a follow-up question to the one that we had from Ms. Sims earlier about kind of monitoring for things like speaking order. Would it be fair to say, if I'm looking at applicant presentations being on Tuesday, October 7th, would it be fair to say if folks were looking on Facebook, say Monday, October 6th, they would see that speaker's order? So if they were nervous about it and wanted to set a calendar reminder, check the speaker's order, they could maybe do it then?
I don't have a calendar in front of me. No, the colored one there, sorry. There will be an updated calendar on the website as well. The order will be done on September 22nd.
Okay.
And so once we know that order and everything, we will post that either on the 22nd or the 23rd. And that way it'll give applicants plenty of time to plan. Even though you know it's October the 7th, it'll still give you time to plan on the order in which you're going to present.
Good evening.
Hello. I have a question. I know that Jack Hopkins typically gives on how they evaluate the grants. Will you be willing to publish the criteria for how you will evaluate the applications and how that may change this year? Thank you.
Usually, if I'm mistaken, it's on the handout and it's also on
It's
the
on the
website.
handout,
And it'll be on the website. That's what I thought. Okay. So yes, the criteria that we use to kind of grade, if you will, that the committee will use to kind of take a look at things. It's on the handout here if you have that, and then it will also be on the website too.
Yeah, on the handout, you will see its criteria used for evaluation of application. Yeah, it says completion of all required reports. The project must primarily serve Monroe County residents. The extent to which the dollars among sought will accomplish the goals. The extent to which the funds sought will leverage. So we went over that. That is the criteria that is set out in the resolution that the committee uses. So that's the criteria there. But this will also be on the website as well.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. My name is Emily Reynolds, and I have a question just to clarify. The maximum amount you can ask for is $10,000?
Oh, no, you can ask for the
There-
moon. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. So-
Okay, all right. I just didn't know if there was a maximum amount.
Nope.
All right.
This year, the amount set aside for Sophia Travis is $174,000, so you can't ask for more than that.
Okay. One other question, just to clarify too, is when we apply for these, when is when you receive it in November, is that when you can start and you must finish then by March, is it March 21st of 2027?
You, per the contract, you will have till December 31st of 2026 to spend those funds. The latest you can forward your report is March 31st, so, of 2027.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
And I wanted to just point out, year after year, we've had an increment of an increase of the Sophia Travis Grant Committee. I think last year was like 167,000, and now this year is 174. Obviously, we wish we can give the world to everybody and all the work that they do. And we all understand personally, again, in my 4 years that I've been on council, I've also been on the Sophia Travis Grant Committee. This is probably going to be the hardest year to date because we know a lot of y'all that are in here are facing hardships because of grant fundings and cuts that you might have received federally. And so now you're looking to figure out how you can get that money back, and then whether, got cut federally, and then state is a whole other ball game here. And so now it's tasked on local municipalities and counties such as ours to help and assist in any way that we can. So this year is going to be a very challenging year. I think our community members are definitely up to task with that, but I just wanted to point that out, that it's going to be a really tough decision, which is another reason why Michelle continues to stress the importance of those reports that we ask that you get into us, that you definitely get those into us, because it's not fair for a lot of people to put in all the work and then somebody not give in, not get us what we need. And in the end, that's really hurting your agency, and it's hurting the communities that you serve. So we want, help us help you by getting that information in. If you haven't already, if you hear and nobody is pointing you out, but you know who you are, or just follow the contract. That's it. But again, this year is going to be a really tough year, but we look forward to that. All right. Any other questions out in the audience or via Teams? And if you don't want to ask your question on the spot, we will hang out if you are shy, so you don't have to be on candid camera and do that. So since this is also replayed on Teams or Cats, but
they could also, if you're not in person and you want to submit a question, use the email address of council office at co.monroe.in.us, and we will answer your question and get that back to you.
seeing any takers, but I also wanted to look at our committee members. If Julie had any questions or comments or anything that she'd like to add before we end this evening.
No, I do appreciate everybody coming up and asking the questions. They were very good questions. And I also too want to reiterate the importance of following the contract and making sure that the committee receives all the information they need at the end of the project.
Anybody else for the greater good of the meeting? All right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming out this evening. We now give your evening back to you, and you get to go outside in the heat, but stay cool. Thank you.